Welcome to another lecture by Pragmatic Programming. In today's lecture, we will be discussing the Java map, hash map, linked hash map, sorted map, navigable map, and tree map. So let's take a look at the hierarchy of all of this. So on top you get the map interface, and under that you get the hash map and the linked hash map. So the hash map implements the map interface, and under hash map we get the linked hash map which extends the hash map class. Next we have the sorted map and the navigable map interfaces, and finally the tree map class. So the tree map implements the navigable map, sorted map, and map interfaces. So let's start by taking a look at the map interface. A map is a data structure which supports the key value mapping for data. This interface doesn't support duplicate keys because the same key cannot have multiple mappings. A map is useful if there is a data that and we wish to perform operations on the basis of the key. This map interface is implemented by various classes like hash map, tree map, sorted map, etc. Since all the subclasses implement the map, we can instantiate a map object with any of these classes. So let's take a look at how to instantiate the map interface. So if we look, we can see that we create a variable of type map, and we assign an object of either type hash map, tree map, or sorted map. So moving on, what are the methods of map? The map interface includes all the methods of the collection interface. It is because the collection is a super interface of map. Besides methods available in the collection interface, the map interface also includes the following methods. So there are about 14 methods that the map interface includes in addition to the collection interface. So let's take a look at all 14 of these. The first method is put. So this inserts the association of a key and a value into the map. If the key is already present, the new value replaces the old value. Next we have the put all. This inserts all the entries from the specified map to this map. Next we have put if absent. So this inserts the association if the key k is not already associated with the value v. Next we have the get method. So this returns the value associated with the specified key k. If the key is not found, it returns null. Next we have the get or default method. This returns the value associated with the specified key k. If the key is not found, it returns the default value. Okay, moving on, we have a few more methods. So the next method is contains key. This checks if the specified key k is present in the map or not. Next we have the contains value method. This checks if the specified value v is present in the map or not. Next we have the replace method. This replaces the value of the key k with the new specified value v. Next we have the replace method. This replaces the value of the key k with the new value and the new value only if the key k is associated with the value old value. Next we have the remove method. So this removes the entry from the map represented by the key k. Next we have another remove method. This is an overloaded method because it has different parameters. This removes the entry from the map that has key k associated with the value v. Next we have the key set method. This returns a set of all the keys present in a map. Next we have the values method. This returns a set of all the values present in a map. And the entry set method. This returns a set of all the key value mappings present in a map. Let's take a look at hash map. So hash map provides the basic implementation of the map interface of Java. It stores the data in key value pairs. So to access a value in a hash map, we must know its key. So hash map uses a technique called hashing. Hashing is a technique of converting a large string to a small string that represents the same string, so that the indexing and search operations are faster. Hashset also uses hash map internally. So if you watch my previous video on sets, you would have seen the hash set. So this is used internally in a hash map. So how to instantiate the hash map? So to instantiate the hash map, we have to first we have to create a variable of type hash map, and we have to create an object of new hash map. So when we are creating a new, when we are creating an object of new hash map, we have to specify the capacity and load factor. So what are these? If you notice in this example, it says 810 0.6 f. Uh, so here the first parameter is capacity and the second parameter is load factor. So the capacity of this hash map is 8, meaning it can store 8 entries, and the load factor of this hash map is 0.6. This means that whenever our hash table is filled by 60%, the entries are moved to a new hash table of double the original size of the original hash table. So that's how hash uh, maps work. So if we look in the second example, this is the default capacity and load factor. When we don't mention anything for the capacity and load factor, it will just use the default values. So the default values are capacity of 16 and a load factor of 0.75. So moving on, the methods of a hash map. The hash map provides various methods that allow us to perform various operations on the map. These methods are the same as what is found in the map interface. So there's nothing new. Recompute values. So you can recompute values of the hash map. That means you can recompute the hashes. So this can be done by using the compute method. So compute computes a new value using the specified function. It then associates the computed value to the specified key. Next we have the compute if absent method. If the specified key is not mapped to any value, the method will compute a new value using the specified function. It then associates a new value with the key. Next we have the compute if present method. If the specified key is already mapped to any value, this method will compute a new value using the specified function. It then associates the new value with the key. We can also recompute values using the merge method. So the merge method associates the specified value to the specified key if the specified key is not already associated. However, if the specified key is already associated with a value, it will merge the new specified value with the existing old value. If you take a look at linked hash map, the linked hash map class of the Java collections framework provides the hash table and linked list implementations of the map interface. The linked hash map interface extends the hash map class to store its entries in a hash table. It internally maintains a doubly linked list among all of its entries to order its entries. So how to instantiate the linked hash map? Right. So here we have created a linked hash map of with a capacity and a load factor of 18.6. So again it's the same as the previous hash map way of defining, like I showed you. You have to specify the initial capacity and the load factor. If you don't, it will use the default capacity and the load factor, which is again 16 and 0.75. Furthermore, there is another constructor for the linked hash map. In this, we can define the capacity, load factor, and access order. So what you should know is access order is a boolean value. Its default value is false, and in this case, entries in the linked hash map are ordered on the basis of the insertion order. However, if you make this true, the access order true, it is the entries in the linked hash map will be ordered from least recently accessed to most recently accessed. So moving on, the methods of a linked hash map. The linked hash map class provides the methods that allow us to perform various operations on the map. These methods are the same as found in the hash map. Let's do a quick comparison of the linked hash map and the hash map. Both the linked hash map and the hash map implements a map interface. However, there exist some differences between them. The linked hash map maintains a doubly linked list internally. Due to this, it maintains the insertion order of its element. But the linked hash map class requires more storage than a hash map. This is because linked hash map maintains linked lists internally. And the final point, the performance of a linked hash map is slower than a hash map. Moving on, let's move on to the sorted map interface. So the sorted map interface of Java Collections Framework provides sorting of keys stored in a map. It extends the map interface. So how to instantiate the sorted map interface? So first we created a variable of type sorted map right here, and we assign a new tree map. The reason is because the tree map provides the implementation for the sorted map interface. Methods of the sorted map interface. The sorted map interface includes all methods of the map interface. It's because map is a super interface of sorted map. Besides all those methods, here are the methods specific to the sorted map interface. So we have the comparator. So the comparator returns a comparator that can be used to order the keys in a map. Next we have the first key method. This returns the first key of the sorted map. We have the last key method. This returns the last key of the sorted map. Next we have the head map key. This the head map method. This returns all the entries of the map whose keys are less than the specified key. Next we have the tail map method. This returns all the entries of a map whose keys are greater than or equal to the specified key. Finally, we have the sub map method. This returns all the entries of a map whose keys lie in between key 1 and key 2, including key 1. The navigable map interface. The navigable map interface of the Java Collections Framework provides features to navigate among the map entries. It is considered as a type of sorted map. So how to create a navigable map interface? So again, since it's an interface, we had to use a tree map object, and we can create a navigable map variable. Moving on, methods of navigable map interface. The navigable map is considered as a type of sorted map. It is because navigable map extends the sorted map interface. Hence, all sorted map methods are also available in navigable map. However, some of the methods of sorted map, that is head map, tail map, and sub map, are defined differently in navigable map. So the head map method returns all entries of a navigable map associated with all those keys before the specified key, which is passed as an argument. Next, you have the tail map method. The tail map method returns all the entries of a navigable map associated with all those keys after the specified key, which is passed as an argument, including the entry associated with the specified key. Finally, you have the submap method. The submap method returns all the entries associated with the keys between k1 and k2, including the entry associated with k1. So, moving on, other methods. So the navigable map provides various methods that can be used to locate the entries of maps. So first you have the descending map method. This reverses the order of entries in a map. Next you have the descending key map method. This reverses the order of the keys in a map. Next we have the ceiling entry method. This returns an entry with the lowest key among all those entries whose keys are greater than or equal to the specified key. Next we have the ceiling key method. This returns the lowest key among those keys that are greater than or equal to the specified key. Next we have the flow entry method. This returns an entry with the highest key among all those entries whose keys are less than or equal to the specified key. Next we have the flow key method. This returns the highest key among those keys that are less than or equal to the specified key. Moving on, we have the higher entry method. This returns an entry with the lowest key among all those entries whose keys are greater than the specified key. Next we have the higher key method. This returns the lowest key among those keys that are greater than the specified key. Then the lower entry method. This returns an entry with the highest key among all those entries whose keys are less than the specified key. Lower key method. This returns the highest key among those keys that are less than the specified key. Next we have the first entry method. This returns the first entry, the entry with the lowest key of the map. Next we have the last entry method. This returns the last entry, the entry with the highest key of the map. Next we have poll first and poll last entry. This returns and removes the first and last entry of the map accordingly. So moving on to the tree map. The tree map class of the Java Collections Framework provides a tree data structure implementation. It implements a navigable map interface. So how to instantiate the tree map? Simply we create a variable of type tree map and we assign an object of type tree map to the variable. So methods of the tree map. The tree map class provides various methods that allow us to perform operations on the map. Hence, the tree map contains methods that are implemented from the map, sorted map, and the navigable map interfaces. So there's nothing different from those three interfaces. All the same methods are all implemented in the tree map class. That brings us to the end of this lecture. Thank you very much for listening. Hope to see you soon with a new lecture.